We have to acknowledge that in the past at the high school, victims of sexual assault have not been given the help that they need emotionally or what they legally are supposed to receive under Title IX. However, we have new staffing at the high school, and they have made it very clear that they take Title IX very seriously, and we trust that they will thoroughly follow through with the actions that they are legally supposed to take.
Title IX is a federal law whose main goal is to ensure that all students have a safe learning environment. Title IX requires schools to conduct a thorough investigation separate from legal action immediately upon being made aware of sex-based misconduct. The school's actions towards the perpetrator will be partially up to the victim. Schools, as well as Planned Parenthood, are mandatory reporters, meaning that they are legally required to notify the police, who will reach out and offer to press charges as well as do an investigation. If you do not want the police to get involved, there are also other resources that are not mandatory reporters, which we will talk about next. If you have any questions or need to contact someone about Title IX, please contact Principal Bell, Becca Leroy, or Rebecca Garmati.
Consent is a decision that you make without pressure from external sources. A simple way to remember if a decision you're making is consensual is the FRIES acronym. It stands for freely given, reversible, informed, enthusiastic, and specific. Consent should always be freely given before participating in any kind of sexual activity. If sexual activity occurs without consent, it is considered sexual assault or rape. Peer pressure can be an influence on many of our decisions, though we must recognize what feels most comfortable for ourselves and learn how to express that. Nobody should feel guilty for saying no.
I'm going to be talking about how to be there for a victim of sexual assault and things that you should do and shouldn't do. Let's start with things that you can do to support victims of sexual assault. You should always listen to them when they feel like opening up, because it's very hard to actually open up, and if somebody chooses to do that with you, you know that they trust you, which is a very big deal. Always let them know that there are ways of seeking help, and just be an ally to them. Just educate yourself about things that you can do, and resources that you can supply that person if they want it. And you need to understand that you're only there to support them, and you can't do the work for them. And even though that's hard, you know, like they experience this, and no matter how much you want to take away the pain that they're feeling, it's just not your experience, and you just can't fix it, which is very sad. But you know, it's part of life, you know, just dealing with those issues. Another thing you need to do is to be patient and respect their boundaries, because their boundaries were broken. You also need to reiterate that it's not their fault what happened to them. No matter to the degree of sexual assault that occurred, you should never make them feel like it was their fault. That kind of goes into the don'ts. Don't ask for details, even though you'd like to know more and it feels like you wish you could do more. You can't go back and, you know, sometimes reliving things and asking for details from somebody about things like this can just make it harder for them, and instead of helping. You know, don't try to minimize it and make it feel like it didn't happen or that it wasn't real. And just be very careful with the way that you choose your words, and never ask why questions, because, you know, they can sometimes feel like it was their fault if people are questioning them so much and kind of invalidating, you know, their viewpoint and what they thought was real. So I hope that made sense. I hope you guys understand where I was coming from. Thank you.
Rape culture is a theory in our society in which our society has normalized rape and undermines rape for various reasons. Actions included with rape culture include, but are not limited to, victim blaming, slut shaming, race, intoxication, sexual objectification, denial of rape, and refusing to acknowledge rape.
We will link a list of resources in Jackson County that give education and help about sexual assault in the description of this video and in the advisory lesson.